Success isn't measured in inches, pounds, or points, but in a connection to God and the lost art of adventure He forged deep within each of us. Welcome to Measure of Success.
Alright guys, it is November and we're just now getting our first video out. We apologize, it's been kind of a crazy year. I think that's an understatement, but just finishing up the video and wanted to introduce it to you guys. In this video we're following Brent. I grabbed the camera and we headed out to the lake, and Brent's got the muzzle loader. We're going to see if we can't find any decent bucks. It's a spot we haven't been to, so we're more going to scout it. But it doesn't take us long to run across the deer Brent wants to haul home on the boat. Because it was an area we hadn't been to before, we didn't want to go in there in the dark, so we actually waited for the sun to come up to leave the main channel of the lake. And as we got back in there, the farther and farther we got in there, it got foggier and foggier and shallower, and eventually we found ourselves in a pickle. Thank goodness we had some shooting sticks.
I hope this sucker comes back on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have officially entered a rodeo. There's a couple spots where we had to slow down and kind of ease over some bars, but I think we've made it as far as we're going to make it. So we're still a good mile or two from our spot, so we're trying to decide what we're going to do. But good thing for shooting sticks. All right, moment of truth. We have she started.
And she's peeing.
All right.
We're in a whopping 1 foot of water now.
Well, that's good, because I don't know how deep it was back there, but it wasn't deep enough.
It was boat stopping worthy. That's what
Yeah.
it was.
Never been on one that stopped in reverse. All right.
So we were actually able to navigate up the river, and we'd lost a lot of time, so we just decided to stop at this first spot that I had marked on the OnX. And man, were we glad that's where we decided to stop. We looked around, plenty of deer sign, one of the most amazing deer trails I've ever seen. So we decided to post up overlooking it. We finally made it to our first spot. We got some deer poop. Looks like it's the size of elk poop. And several tracks. We're easing up here. There's a field up here that's on the WMA.
This thing's covered with huge tracks. Do we get like right here on this edge? So if they come through there, we can just mother.
Push on up to that little skinny tree, and then I'll stand next to that bigger oak tree.
Which one, the one with the brown leaves on it still?
If you want to go that far, I was going to stop here and see if you could see down there, because that main trail comes right down the center of that, and there's a logging road right here that comes down. Alright guys, it is Wednesday. I don't know what day it is. I know it's Wednesday, but I don't know what the date is. Brent and I have puttered our way back in here on the boat, as you guys saw, and made it back to this spot. And we found probably the most incredible deer trail I've ever seen.
coming out of the woods in this field behind us and heading out to the lake.
For those of you that don't know me, this is my I think I see a deer face.
So, it's supposed to be 84 degrees today. So we are going to sit in here and see what happens. See if maybe they don't sneak down here to get a drink. So, stay tuned.
So I did in fact see a deer, and from about 400 or 500 yards across the lake, I could tell that it was a buck. So we immediately sprung into action. Brent snuck down the bank, got back out on the flat, and headed towards the boat, and I got ready to videotape it all. So we got our fingers crossed he can make it to the boat, get the trolling motor in the water, troll across the water, and get out on the other side and get a shot at this deer. So as you can tell, this deer spent a ton of time working along the edge of this flat. And it actually spent quite a bit of time right here in this brush pile. And I was hoping he'd bed down and give Brent some extra time. At this point, this deer's probably 150 yards away from the edge of the water there. So if Brent can pop out, he's inside of 150. But it just didn't work out that way, unfortunately. Brent took a little bit longer to get going because he couldn't get his trolling motor locked in and it come flying up out of the water. You know how it is when you're in a hurry and trying to be quiet with that kind of stuff. But he didn't bed down in here, but Brent did make it over there. Also, forgive the shaky footage. I was using a monopod and trying desperately to get Brent to look at me so I could give him some hand signals. Brent finally makes it over and scrambles to get the muzzleloader out of the boat.
Reload. That was a poke, buddy. Now what? How do I get over there? Folks, that is a man who who is processing a lot right now. He's gonna go see what happened there. I guess I just stay in here and videotape it. Oh man, I'm shaking. Sorry guys. Trying to film with max zoom and shaking is not a good combo. He's right about where that deer went in the woods. Right up in there, yeah.
After looking around for several minutes, Brent came to the realization, or just backed up the realization, that it was a clean miss.
That was wild.
What I was doing wrong was buck fever.
Yeah, that was
And
wild.
it was making
man.
me not think straight.
Yeah, I was up there. I could, like I said, for a while. Once you got over to the other side, I had you and him in the same frame.
Man.
And
well,
let's go check out the other spot.
Check out the other spots. We'll get a drink. This time we'll take our drinks and snacks in with us.
Which is where he came out of, pretty much, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he was a big old mature buck.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Well, I was going to say, as soon as I turned around, I saw him all the way across there. I could see his antlers. I was like, there is no way Brent doesn't shoot at this deer if we get close enough. What a crazy day.
And then I was just hoping the boat wouldn't float away once I got to the other side.
I was like, is he going to take the time to anchor it? Nope.
He didn't even take the anchor with him.
Nope. Oh, well, let's go see. That's it's not even work time yet. I guess this is 9:02. 9:02. Been at work for an hour. That was insane.